So good morning, everyone. Let's start with our breath here this morning at our Monday morning Global Heart Resonance Call. We're here as beautiful conduits of love and presence here this morning for hosting this call by good of the whole, living for good of the whole, acting for the good of the whole, being that effervescent love for the good of the whole. Just taking that in and breathing. I'm Shelley Darling, and welcome those of you that are new. And we come here each Monday to really deepen this reflection of the perfection within each and every one as a living aspect of the whole and contributing to the greater good. So we come here for this participatory call in full recognition that when we bring our loving attention to the wholeness, to the field, call it the unified field or the heart field or the collective love field, whatever you want to call it, God, source, consciousness, we come and bring our collective with the focus of that, of listening to the field, of being a voice, the emergent voice of the field. So it becomes a very powerful energy here as we really build. You can imagine this bridge being built where the direct experience and embodiment of the field comes through, and it really enlivens and activates this, our, as Barbara Marx Hubbard always called it, our vocational arousal. We're aroused to participate and serve from that place of unconditional love. So with that, I'm happy to be here with Naheed Mokhtari, who has presented our topic today. But we always begin this call with a resonance. So with that, the invitation is to keep your eyes open or closed, whatever you're comfortable with. And we're just going to simply begin this morning in gratitude and really in that full acceptance of who we are, that effervescing force of light, of love, and simply connecting with the generator, this regenerative force of love through our heart. And so just naturally breathing, relaxing into your body, and feeling this greater communion of this movement of life. There's nothing static in aliveness and feeling that aliveness. So bringing that, your loving attention to all of your cells, as if you are hugging each one of them, beaming this virtual light frequency, what we call here as the home frequency. And in the silence, in the pause, we receive the information that each one of our beings need for that expression coming forth. Just feeling into this creative impulse. Some people really focus on the living waters, that energy, that frequency of love that is emitted through this web of light. We're just imagining that we're all connected, this interconnected web, and feeling that showering of love and light down into the earth, receiving from her that mutual nourishment, that atmospheric love, energy moving up through our bodies, as we open our branches here this morning to receive the information field, this noosphere of love, the field of the Akash. Breathing that full breath, the sense of joyous presence into our collective here this morning. And feeling that full radiant rainbow spectrum of color, of light, and vibration. Bringing that back, feeling that toroidal movement through the heart. And with love and gratitude, coming fully present here this morning into this gorgeous matrix of love and light, each one of you, this beautiful tapestry of love. And with that, I'm going to pass the talking stick over. And for those of you that are new, simply speak your name when you feel ready to speak. Speak 1 to 2 minutes, allowing that movement to continue, that growing of the emergent field, that building of coherence, and honoring the pause. So after each one speaks, to take a breath, to allow what needs to move through, to resolve itself, and to allow that full emergent inspiration to come forth. And with that, I pass the beautiful virtual talking stick to you, Naheed, and welcome everybody.
Good morning, everyone. Naheed from Boulder. What you receive in the email is what you just spoke, Shelley, is being in the field with you, experiencing, embodying, and expressing that which comes through. So I've been a little lazy reading books, actually, for the last almost 20 years. So I had to come up with something. And this is actually the embodiment of being with you last week. Maybe I will have the opportunity later to explain that. But this is what it came through. During the last week, at least 4 or 5 times before I go to bed, and even after 2-3 hours of sleep, it woke me up again, and I was there with all of you. So this is how it came. Manifestation of a collective love affair. In the presence of your beauty, I disappear. In the relational field, for the life to celebrate its own existence. The heart is throbbing, the body is dancing, the mind is wandering, and the spirit is witnessing its creative play, fully aroused, making love with all. Infinite in finite, creator in creation. And in the madness of this love of her, existence becomes sane. This part I borrowed from Rumi. There's a love, there's a kiss that we want all of life. A touch of the spirit on the body. This part is us, to become the embodiment of the wholeness that we are. So now this is the story. I have a lover, an outrageous lover, who comes to my bed every night. The sweetness of this wine of togetherness. It's so intoxicating that we disappear, not knowing who is the lover and who is the beloved. And only the love affair continues. Oh yes, I have dreamed of such a intimacy before I came to this body, but forgot until I surrounded to the offering of my persistence lover, and since then I have not been left alone. And eventually its continuous presence captured my heart. Now I know that there is no game in this universe but this collective love affair. Listen, do you hear the blessings dropping their blossoms around? What do you hear? What did you dream of? Do you know of such a lover? I pass the talking stick. Leave it in the center.
Kate in South Dakota will say, wow, this unbounding, unfathomable love you speak of, it's our next step in this universal Omore, discovering how to love and just taking that love further. Thank you, Nadine, for taking me so deep.
This is Sharon in New Jersey. Nahid, thank you for capturing the bliss of being in the field together. And remembering that and continuing to be in that experience, in that bliss, through the remembering and through the bringing that forth the way you just did in your words, in your remembrance, in your waking. It's delicious. Pass the stick.
Good morning. This is Rosemary from Costa Rica. You've taken me on an enchanted journey. And even though I read those words in the email, to hear you, Naid, put the emotion and the vibrance and the vitality of life brought me to a space of oneness and the term collective love affair. There is no separation. We are one, and I felt that. I feel that in the field. The beauty that we bring out in each other and that we share and that we enhance when we come together. So simply thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for sharing something so beautiful. And I smell those blossoms as they bring their blessings. Thank you. I'm complete.
This is Shelley, and what's moving for me in the field is this tonality, that this vibration of love that speaks in myriad of ways. And when and in feeling into this field, the sense of unboundlessness and bounty, that experience that, you know, is what we call ecstasy in our human form, you know, that we seek out. Actually, we seek out in every moment. What is that feeling that, you know, guides me forward, and how can I really be a conduit of that force? And I feel really in deep acknowledgement of the voice of creation, because here, when we're talking about a collective love affair, in my own heart, I feel it as, you know, this is life. This is the expression of life living itself fullest, in its fullest expression. And it's funny to me because I was just flashing on, I used to teach, it was called the ecstasy training. And people would come to Hawaii to have this training. And it was really teaching people how to embody this force of love as their own. And I feel that each and every Monday, this is what we're doing. We're becoming living states of wonder, as was being shared in that opening, right? Living states of wonder. And to meet those parts of ourselves that don't feel like we deserve it. I mean, I actually feel a little teary in this moment. To meet those parts of ourselves that feel like it's not okay to want to dance, to want to be free, you know, and to seek freedom as a living force of presence. It is more presence. We feel free. We feel, you know, and still we continually need to meet those aspects that, oh, what is someone going to think about me? Or what if I don't attend this particular conference? You know, how is that going to look? You know, and And from this place of this moment right here, right now, with each one of you, this, and I thought it was interesting when the words came out, the matrix, this matrix of love is the manifestation of our one heart, our liquid love coming forth. And just really grateful for each and every one of you that is showing up here to hold the banks of this river so it can flow. And I'm complete. Thank you.
Thank you. As I finish, I realize my body started moving again. And I heard, this is life, living. This is love, living. I'm giving myself permission to say that the exquisite beauty that I experienced more often, but specifically it's like the highlight of that was last Monday. There was such a coherence in the field. Just truly, it was just one thing that it has many faces. And as I was on mute, I heard myself singing. And then my body started moving and moving. And it's my whole spine is like being that kelp in the water. So when it was your fault, Dinama, when you said about the G spot, remember everyone? All of a sudden, everything that was happening in here, and it was coming through sounds, it dropped into my belly and in my hip. And I started moving faster. And then the sound, because the sound became louder, I even couldn't hear the words that you were saying. But this is interesting. Not only when people would change, the sound would change. When whatever expression was that individual was saying, it would have gone to a different energetic rhythm, my sounds would change to totally different tone. So I have to say that end of that session, I couldn't hold it all by myself. I texted Dinamo. I had a big orgasm. I was wet because being with you. So this is what I call collective love affair. Is the totality of this embodiment. And yes, Shelley, I have not been given myself permission either. It's like, but this has been building up. It's such an intimate, trusted space for me that it started 7 years ago in the Resonance Hotel in LA, and it's been building, and the more coherence is coming into the field, this becoming more colorful, more profound. And I understand, but I always, when I ask what is mine, it's what I keep hearing is celebrate, sing and dance, sing and dance. Here in my mute state, I'm singing you. It's like there is nothing that I have to say, but it's just singing the field. And then the body follows. I push back the stick and the center.
Hello, all. It's Eric. Even though it says Khurshid on the screen for me, and Nahid, I was very touched by what you just said. Your energy, your flow, your passion so unconstrained, beautiful, courageous. Thank you.
This is Dinama. For this is our wholeness. This is the love affair we are having with us. The home frequency is created in our conscious presence. And we are creating this into the field. This is the experience of oneness, not relations, but ourselves. We are the field, loving itself. Complete.
Good morning, everyone. This is John in Boulder. Marvelous and beautiful energy as always. Nahid, you started this morning and brought to mind Rumi, the master of ecstatic love. And then Shelley, you chimed in with teaching ecstasy. And I feel that all of us, when we enter the field, we're entering into an ecstatic state. People that want to take shortcuts, which I have in the past, might use drugs, alcohol, sex, work, whatever it might be, because we're all longing for that state of ecstatic love that is the field. And all of those can be aids, and yet when we are in a collective like we are now, surrounded by others that are willing and able to share that frequency, nothing else is needed. Everything else disappears. Entering this state becomes the whole, as we know. Getting back to Rumi, because I started to attempt to experience what is this visceral experience that I have of the ecstatic state. And when I allow it to happen, it's truly my longing. There's a longing that happens in the depth of my heart for this state. And Rumi, in his brilliance, said, as humans, when we really allow ourselves to experience, we are actually longing for the longing of that ecstasy of union with the resonant field, with the Supreme Creator, with the guest. He used so many terms. To invite that in, to invite that experience in this physical form is an incredible, incredible experience, possibility that we have in the physical form to have that experience. And so we long for that. I long to be with each one of you as we share that space. I long to be around others. I long to bring this experience to others, or at least to share it from the place of my direct experience, and those that are of similar frequency are there as well. And we each have a thread of that frequency. And so we surround ourselves with others that can share that. And we bring that energy full in its harmony, in its beauty, in its love. And we can activate that energy in our lives, in the lives of others, for the good of the whole. I long for that. I long for the longing of that ecstasy. And I appreciate this incredible group that shares the frequency that we share every Monday morning and throughout the week. And I pass the stick. Thank you.
This is Shelley again. I want to follow and weave that thread of longing, because my experience is that the experience of right here, right now, is that when I'm watching each one of you, when I'm feeling into each one of you, when I'm embracing this voice of the field, there is no more longing. It is the experience that is being gifted to us. And as this expression of love, saying that, that we're here right now. And in that place of ecstatic love, in that place of, we can talk about hope. I feel like it's, in some ways, it's the same feeling. It's like this experience of this field extinguishes the separation. And if I'm longing for something, is it possible that I'm trying to reach out for something that some part of me feels like I don't have? And yet this field, I don't know, it feels like in this moment, it's like we're bathing. We get to bathe. It's like taking a shower. Imagine you've been out in the desert, or you've been to the beach and it's a long hot day, and you come and you take that refreshing shower. It's a sense of soothing the soul that has been longing for something so deep and so wondrous that it knows itself as home. And I don't know, it's like trusting that, really trusting that that's the voice that we can speak from, that this sense, this thirst can be quenched. It is possible, not only hopeful, but it is possible. And I feel, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel that's the experience that's being really signaled here, that ignition of we don't have to long anymore. We don't have to search, that this field is so kind, is so loving, is so compassionate, that it's inviting us. I mean, what is Rumi but that invitation to dance in this frequency of love? And we're tasting it. All we're doing is tasting the waters right here. So I don't know, I'm just like, I feel that this invitation to move, to be as kelp in this luscious, delicious ocean of love is to say, hey, come taste these waters. You can float here, you can be carried. And the word that came to me as I was listening to this thread was you will be cradled here. So you can, you know, when a baby's being cradled, we can relax. That baby relaxes into the mother's body, right? So, you know, and probably it's just a movement, but that's what was coming, just to say, hey, the field is saying to us, this global heart is saying, you know, you are the global heart. Now express it, now be it. So with that, I pass this ever-flowing crystalline virtual talking stick.
Just one shorter statement, because longing has been my true path, I have to say. The dance itself is longing. When we allow it, then we become one with it. Longing is the wave to ride, to get home. Even not to get home, when you are on that wave, you are home already. Longing for longing.
It just feels like it feels like the longing is over, that we've exhausted all of these things that we've tried to substitute for this ecstatic field. You know, the alcohol, the drugs, the sex, and you know, it was never quite as complete as. So that longing was always there. I think our soul, you know, we all want to do our soul purpose, and as my dryer is shaking the room, it kind of jarred me off the dance there. I just feel like we've exhausted all of these things, and we finally found what we've been looking for, and it's like the culmination of our soul's purpose, and who knows where we go from here. This evolutionary love, I feel like, is very expansive. Thank you all for participating.
Hi, it's Deborah. My experience is today, having not been here for a few weeks traveling, and I feel so completely open to my multidimensionality I feel like I'm the stone that was dropped into the water that is rippling out, but there is actually only both fullness and emptiness at the center, which is my heart. And that's all I know. And I have great gratitude for being here again. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm basking in the loving, dancing, throbbing, everything of this call, and it's so beautiful. And what keeps rising in me is I just hear my lover saying, bring me to the light. Stop keeping me in the shadows of the bedroom and at the night where we roll and play and you feel so safe in the corners of your home and in the quietness of the circles that already resonate with this, but be brave and bold and bring me your lover out into the open. And I hear myself really saying like, oh man, that is really brave. Not quite ready to go there. I'm not quite ready to dance in the streets and swing around and explain myself. I've learned how to live in this world. I've learned how to dance and feel like I'm part of it. And I keep hearing the lover saying, but now you have to dance more bravely and more boldly and open up and have courage, not just in these circles that we gather like this today, but in those circles who maybe need the permission as well to meet their lover and to know that the lover is there for them as well. And so that's what I'm feeling, and I'm looking for my courage to be able to be braver and to really introduce the lover to the world. I'm complete.
Hi, it's Kelsey from Minnesota. I'm a little late to the call, so I wasn't here from the get-go, but I do want to share an experience that I had last night and going out to a concert. Her name is Lizzo, and she, if you're not familiar with her, look her up. She's incredible. But just as Michelle was saying about sharing the lover with the world, this woman just has an incredible message, and she stood up there in this like bodysuit thong. She's like a 300-pound woman, and her message was just to like love yourself. And one day she decided to wake up and just tell herself that she loved herself, and just to try it out for size and see what would happen. And what happened was that she ended up spreading her message to millions of people. And she really did dance her love like out loud on stage, in full womanhood and full embodiment. She just is like such a presence, such a light and source of empowerment. And it was just an incredible feeling of being kind of like in this field with a collective group of people in the theater I was at, and just worshiping this sense of love. Really, it was just love, self-love, love for each other, understanding where we are all on our path and our journey, and that's exactly where we need to be. And it inspired me to be a little louder, or to be a little bit more free to move and to feel my feelings, and understanding that my emotions in the moment aren't for anybody else. They're for me to experience and to feel and to release. Thank you. I'm complete.
I just want to say I apologize to everybody. My internet connection went totally flat. So when everyone's spoken, I have one more thing to say. The last thing I heard was, Shelley, what you were saying about longing. And I just want to just say one little word about that. So, but I'll wait until everybody's complete.
This is Grace, and we are just bathing. I feel this bathing of this love soup that we're drinking it in, and every cell of our body is just feeling this loving energy and this connection, and this soup that everyone brings their own flavor of love into it, but that connecting even deeper all the ingredients of love that we're sharing and that we do want to share with the world.
Good morning, everybody. It's Nancy. I finally got to a computer where I could see you. I couldn't stand this lovely conversation without the visuals of all of you. I think I missed last week, and I guess something happened on a conscious evolution level, because it seems like we are absolutely aware of our evolution as this group is growing real time, minute to minute now. Pretty amazing. So I'm just happy to be here. And the word longing has really jumping out at me this morning. Sometimes I think of longing as yearning, as in lack, as in not the frequency that I'm looking for, I guess you could say. It's just the semantics of it. But I was drawn to get out my favorite quote, as you've been sharing this morning, from Greg Braden, which is about longing. And it says, now feel the gratitude for what your life is like with the prayer already answered. Note the ease and release that comes from the giving of thanks, rather than the longing and yearning that comes from asking for help. The subtle difference between the ease and the longing is the power that sets asking apart from receiving. And I just thank all of you for being an energy, a place where we can come and feel that ease, feel that love, and receive. And I'm receiving all of your love today. Thank you.
Okay, I got to pop in on this longing thing. I'm not going to say all the 13th century mystics, but certainly many of the mystics and of course the poets, mystics, Kabir and Rumi, they're not talking about longing as being a lack of anything or a hope for something or a wish for something or I don't have it and I long for it. At least in my heart, when I take in that word from that mystical perspective, it's not about what you don't have. It's about the ecstatic union of the pleasure and pain of having an opened and broken heart to the great mystery. There's this longing that we don't have the answers. We are not longing for the answers. We are going through the ecstasy of asking the great question of the mystery. And that is the union with the ecstatic resonant field itself. So that longing is the heart breaking open as a human existence coming into union with, in the ecstatic state of union with the great mystery of the resonant field. It's not, if in true longing, you're already there, but it's an acknowledgement of the opening of the heart. So at least that's how I've understood it. So it's not a lack or anything or being in one place or another. It is about the opening and breaking of the heart to be in union with the whole. Yeah. At least that's my understanding. And that's where I was coming from with that. I don't. Thank you.
So I'm just going to invite everyone to breathe with that. Let's just take a little more of an extended pause and feel that singing of the field within you as it's showing up. What your dream is, how that dream is realizing itself through you and us as a collective force of love. And allow that liminal space to nourish you. And with that, for those who have spoken, we're just going to allow those who haven't to have their voice of creation come forth. And the invitation is to be with what's moving. Not in an identity, but as a transpersonal frequency that's being gifted to all of us.
And with that, open the space for those who haven't shared to come forth. And I think it's Tree Child who's on 615, and I apologize, you just need to take yourself off mute. Thank you.
It's Julie in Nebraska, and Cooper. You want to say hi, Coop? You were saying hi to him. Can you wave? Look, they're waving at you. Say hi, Cooper. Hi, baby. Can you say resonance? Resonance. Can you say food? Show them food with sign language. Can you say food? No. Okay, say bye-bye. Bye-bye. Say thank you. Say thank you. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Whoever is on 6615107, we can't hear you. We're just holding the space. You're unmuted.
I had not unmuted myself, but I found myself unmuted, so what came for me was just feeling the resonance in my chest, my body. Longing reminds me of like the tongue of my soul receiving, allowing that stillness to hold my whole body. Peace. Peace.
This is Carly from Minnesota. And I think I'm on now. I can't tell. I don't call in as much. So this is Carly from Minnesota, and I'm struck by the timing of this in the sense of I have been kind of retreating for the last year since I've had a concussion injury, brain injury, and I have felt this longing, and the retreating, I think, was a pulling to wanting to be in this space. And so this was just wonderful for me to hear this idea of wanting to kind of curl up. I've recently been told, like, when animals are hurt, they go into a den and they curl up and they heal. And I think it's in that retreating that they are connecting to this deep, deep love for the healing. And so with that, I am complete.
Mm. Oriana, we can't hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now? Okay. Okay, I would just like to bring in the word allurement, which was Barbara's, Mark Hubbard and Mark Gaffney's word in Evolutionary Church. The term allurement, as the whole universe is allured into being, particles are allured together. We're allured into our evolution. And the sense of yearning and longing are, in my sense of being there, the feminine is more of the yearning to the masculine longing. But that is still the semantics. But the sense of what is it to yearn, that is the essential power that creates manifestation. What is it to yearn for life before it arrives, before it's created? So that sense of yearning for a life that we have a sense of our future possibility, a sense of the future that's calling us forth, that sense of, oh, that's right, we're meant to be this field of love. We're meant to be compassionate and caring and loving each other and contributing all of who we are. That's right, that kind of yearning for what is meant to be. With that, I'm complete.
So thank you, everyone. A really powerful call, and a call that invites us to go deeper into this voice of the emergent field, into this collective love affair. And with that, before we end with our special, beautiful symphony of Yum, just want to invite people to make sure that as you're sharing this to, sorry, Oriana, can you put yourself on mute? I'm sorry. Yeah, thanks. To share this beautiful piece about the Global Heart team that we've opened up here as part of Good of the Whole, to become aware of the Mentoring Stewards, to become a Mentoring Steward, so that where your voice can have more impact in regards to the effervescent voice of Good of the Whole. So because we are a co-mentoring community. That's really what I feel is unique inside of this experience. And then finally, to save those dates for September 26th through the 29th, where we come together and really your voice matters, where that emergent voice, that longing, whatever it is for you, can be expressed and be literally become a sustainable experience here as part of the expression of good of the whole. And bring your ecstasy and come dance with us. So with that, everybody can take yourselves off mute, and we can really ripple this expression out to the greater whole.
Shelley, before we go to Yum.
Yum, yum.
Yes, Myra.
Hello all.
Don't leave.
Yum.